Now at 10, the discovery of a body in Carthage leads to a possible criminal investigation. Plus, Freeman Health announces the establishment of an emergency unit in Fort Scott, Kansas. And a church in Pittsburgh hosts an open house for its new child care center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Carthage begin an investigation into the discovery of a body. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The body was found in a camping trailer just before noon today on private property on the 600 block of North Main. Authorities closed down North Main and wrapped the investigation scene in police tape. Police believe the body had been transported to this site, possibly from Kansas City or Pittsburgh, Kansas, just prior to their arrival. They've talked to at least one person.
So we're looking into the possibility that the possible crime could have occurred somewhere else, and the trailer just got transported to Carthage.
I see. Can you tell us any other location maybe where it was transported from?
The 2 locations I've heard possibly was near the Kansas City area or possibly Pittsburgh, Kansas.
No word yet on the identity of the person who was found dead. A traffic stop for the Pittsburgh Police Department turns into a car chase and narcotics bust. Happened around 9:30 last night. Officers, with assistance of a canine unit, stopped a vehicle for traffic violations. Police detained 2 of the occupants, Jermaine Justin Oliver and Tyreek Tutwiler. Police say the other occupant, William Tyrone Andre Phillips, drove away, nearly striking the officers. They caught Phillips after he abandoned the vehicle. Officers found a number of suspected counterfeit fentanyl pills and a handgun. Turns out Oliver and Tutwiler had warrants out for their arrests. Authorities arrested all 3 on multiple charges. Federal judge today sentenced a Galena, Kansas man who shot at police during a high-speed chase from Joplin into Kansas. 36-year-old Adam Kastler pled guilty to being a felon in possession of a firearm. It stems from a February 2023 incident where he led Joplin police on a chase that crossed the Kansas border. During that chase, authorities say he fired the gun at officers. He's sentenced to 13 years and 6 months in federal prison. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for a first look at the weather.
Well, temperatures cooling down to upper 70s now. 79 out in Joplin. A little bit breezy, but around the counties, about 79 in Oswego, 81 Parsons and Neodesha, Sedan as well. So we're cooling down pretty much collectively. We can see that wind shift, so we do have those storms rolling in, and luckily staying out of our area. We did have the chance for some storms to be forming in our northwestern counties, but as they moved into an area with less favorable environment for severe setup, they did start to fall apart. Still getting some rain in those western counties, Elk, Chautauqua, but we're not going to see anything severe. There is a chance that some of these storms north of Kansas City clip some of our northern counties, but they really are shifting southeast, so we're likely not going to see anything going on tonight. But I will keep you guys updated, and I'll have more details in just a bit.
See you then. Freeman Health System announces it's going to establish a presence in Fort Scott, Kansas, following the closure of that town's emergency department. Today's announcement came straight from the Freeman CEO, Paula Baker, you just saw. She emphasizes that the goal is to proceed as quickly as possible. Freeman expects to take over management of the current emergency facility, as well as establish 10 inpatient hospital beds.
Most small towns are suffering, and we are so blessed to have Freeman come after losing Mercy several years ago. And so I know everyone here is thrilled.
When an accident, an illness, or an injury occurs, people need that very close to home. If that doesn't happen, lives can be lost. And so we are very, very invested in Fort Scott, in Bourbon County, and in all of southeast Kansas.
Freeman hopes to be fully established in Fort Scott by April 1st of next year. Mercy Hospital announces a partnership with Joplin area Catholic schools to provide a tuition assistance program for its co-workers. The program extends to the 3 Joplin area Catholic schools. They say the partnership opportunity provides full-time Mercy Joplin, Mercy Carthage, Mercy Columbus, Mercy Clinics, and Mercy Galena co-workers with access to affordable Catholic education for their children. A Pittsburgh child care center is expanding to meet local demand for infants. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Sunshine Child Care Learning Center's expansion will add more availability for infants and non-school age children. Workers say the biggest demand is for infant care in their area.
That's where we put our attention to, and that's what this site here was specifically designed for.
There's not very many childcare in Girard. There's not much in Pittsburgh. Like people from Arma, things like that, they don't have childcare. So it is very nice to have facilities like this, to have a childcare and be able to provide it and not have to worry when you're a parent to take your kids somewhere or figure out where they're going to go.
The expansion was more than $300,000 at no cost to the church. An out-of-county grant by an anonymous donor funded the expansion.
It was from a different location. They heard of the project, wanted to know more about the project. 2 phone calls later, they supported the project, and we had funds, and off we were running.
The child care waitlist already has more than 42 families willing to pay $179 weekly for preschool and child care. The child does not have to attend Victory Life's church to be a part of the child care center.
The wait list is a first come, first serve. By the time we get to some of those, they've already found child care, whether it be a family member or an in-home service. And we understand that, but it's a first come, first serve. We have a wait list and we just take them in the order that they call.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
For more information about Sunshine Child Care Learning Center, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. KDOT advises drivers on US 69 to be mindful of road crews. That's coming up, but first.
The Supreme Court preserves access to the abortion drug mifepristone. I'm Skylar Henry with the unanimous ruling and the fight over reproductive rights taking center stage heading into the November election.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled to preserve access to the widely used abortion medication mifepristone. More than 6 million people have used that drug since 2000. Reporter Skylar Henry has more.
In the last year, mifepristone was used in nearly 2/3 of all abortions in the U.S. Thursday's Supreme Court ruling preserves access to the medication, the first abortion decision the court has made since overturning Roe v. Wade 2 years ago. Outside the Supreme Court, anti-abortion rights advocates reacted to the unanimous decision.
They're not saying that abortion pills are safe, they just said the case didn't have standing. So we'll be back with another case with better standing next time.
The 9 justices ruled that the plaintiffs, a group of anti-abortion doctors, lack the legal standing to sue over the FDA's approval of the pill and the agency's actions to ease access to it. In the opinion, conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrote that federal courts are the wrong forum for addressing the plaintiffs' concerns about FDA's actions.
It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not abortion is a protected liberty under the Constitution.
The ruling brings the battle over abortion and other reproductive rights front and center in the race for the White House.
This ruling is not going to change the fact that Trump's allies have a plan that if all else fails, to eliminate medication abortion through executive action.
President Biden praised the decision while saying in a statement, quote, "It does not change the fact that the right for a woman to get the treatment she needs is imperiled, if not impossible, in many states." Skylar Henry, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Today's Supreme Court ruling allows mail-order pharmacies to continue shipping mifepristone nationwide. But last month, Louisiana designated it a controlled substance, a dangerous controlled substance, and 14 states are enforcing bans on abortions at all stages of pregnancy. Former President Trump today traveled to Washington to meet with House and Senate Republicans. The visit marks the first time the presumptive Republican presidential nominee has traveled to speak with lawmakers since the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Lawmakers inside the meeting say he spoke about his plans to reach independent voters in the fall and his legislative agenda if elected, from tax policy to tariffs. Apple is now the most valuable public company in the U.S. Took the top spot today after talk of its new AI features for iPhone sent stocks soaring. Apple's market cap closed at $3.29 trillion today, edging past Microsoft's $3.28 trillion valuation. Apple's shares rose over 0.5% today. It's up 8.8% just for the week. If you're miserable at work, well, you're in good company. A new Gallup survey finds more than half of workers in the U.S. and all around the world are disengaged from their jobs, with 50% of American employees watching for or actively seeking new jobs. 49% of workers in the U.S. and Canada reported daily stress, with women experiencing even higher levels than their male counterparts.
When you have organizations that are poorly run, you can see that the amount of unnecessary stress that is added to a human being's life is tremendous. In fact, somebody who is actively disengaged at work compared to someone who is engaged at work, there is a 60% difference in terms of how much daily stress that they are experiencing.
Gallup's CEO adds one of the single biggest contributors to that stress is when employees don't have the things they need to do their jobs. He says that comes down to management. Columbia, Missouri drivers can expect to see construction on the Interstate 70 Highway 63 interchange as soon as next month. Governor Mike Parson kickstarted the first construction project in MoDOT's statewide Improve I-70 program this morning. The project is going to build a third lane of travel in each direction to Interstate 70 between U.S. Route 63 in Columbia and Route 54 in Kingdom City. In addition to the added lane, the project's going to also make improvements at the I-70 interchanges at both Route 63 and Route 54. Construction in Columbia is expected to last until December of 2027. Drivers on US 69 in Cherokee County, Kansas should be aware of some road work. KDOT began a resurfacing project this week, starting at US 400 on 69 and continuing south for about 18 miles to the roundabout at K66. Flaggers and a pilot car are guiding one-lane traffic through the work zone during daylight hours. Expect delays of up to 15 minutes. They say weather permitting, the road work should be finished by mid-September. A little later, kids of all ages come out to enjoy the 60th annual Bushwhacker Days Festival.
And we do have some storms rolling in tonight and temperatures rising up. We'll talk about that right after the break. Well, we do have some storms rolling in, but luckily they look like they're falling apart, so we may not see any storms in the area. Taking a look outside at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, still pretty dry there, but we do have that chance of some rain pushing in. We'll take a look at that in just a sec. We've got a few storms started off pretty strong. They had some severe thunderstorm warnings along all of these storms, but as they move into an area with less favorable environment for these storm setups, they really are falling apart. So our western counties, Greenwood, Elk, Chautauqua, getting some rain, but nothing severe. Some stronger wind gusts though, as that boundary does push in. And then we've got that another boundary formed just north of Kansas City, driving some new isolated thunderstorms popping up there. But as they move into the area, we're really not expecting anything to continue. These are all under severe thunderstorm warnings, but like I said, we are in a less favorable environment for any of these storms to really continue in strength. So as they move south, all of this line of storms likely clipping some of our counties, maybe Nevada getting hit, Stockton getting hit, but mostly just going down towards Springfield. But then you can see a few more storms develop moving into the area. May get some more rain showers, but again, we're really not expecting any type of severe thunderstorms through the night tonight. In the next couple of days, temperatures do warm up. We're getting into the low 90s now. Not incredibly dangerous yet, but with humidity values above 40% and temperatures above 90 on any given day, that could really have some high heat indexes, and we're looking in the low triple digits for the next couple of days. Not necessarily in Joplin, but surrounding counties, especially out in Wichita and in the northern counties as well, getting into the low triple digit heat indices, Heat is a silent killer, so stay hydrated out there. Definitely try not to spend prolonged periods of time outside. Yesterday we got up to about 86. Today we got up to about 90 and even above 90 in some of our counties as well. Tomorrow we're forecasted about 91 to 93. So we're creeping up into the mid 90s. we've got these storms right now pushing through. Let's see, we got that boundaries. What I'm really looking for, likely moving through just east of us, but we'll keep an eye on it. Some rain still passing in the next couple of hours in those western counties. But as they move out, we're looking pretty dry for the next couple of hours. And then Friday, 2 p.m., temperatures getting up to about 93 in Joplin, 100 in Veneta, and Tulsa even gets up to about 102. So it's going to be really hot tomorrow. We do have that chance of rain likely holding off until Saturday. So we've got a line of storms that was pushing in Friday, but it's taking its time. It's going to be moving in pretty slow. So we've got that chance, and it's going to be moving north of us, but as it passes, it kind of rotates back in. So we've got a few isolated thunderstorms possibilities for Saturday afternoon. These storms that were coming in on Friday now holding off until Saturday, so it's going to be slow moving. And again, not severe. We're really not in an environment for severe weather anymore, but we could still see some isolated pop-up storms in the next couple of days, hopefully cooling us off a little bit.
Very little bit, I must say.
Well, on Wednesday we've got some showers, dropping those temperatures down to about 89.
Merely 89. That sounds a lot better than 90. I'll give you
It
that
does.
for
It
sure.
does. Just
Thanks,
a little
Lindsay.
bit.
Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You know you can get those severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, and it's absolutely free. You'll find it wherever you get your apps. It's the KOAM Skywatch weather app. The 60th annual Bushwhacker Days kicked off today in Nevada, Missouri. It features food and fun and live music. We sent photojournalist Friends Wallace there to check it out.
There you go. Look out, boys.
The zipper was really scary.
Why?
Because it never stopped moving, and you're just always spinning, and I'm still shaking.
I love it spinning around.
Is it fast or is it slow?
It's slower, but I love being it slower. The airplane, the horse, that one.
And out of the airplane and the horses, which one was your favorite so far?
The airplane.
Why?
It goes up in the air.
Like those airplanes that go up in the air, those are the best kind of airplanes. Bushwhacker Days continues through Saturday with other events, including a baby contest, scavenger hunt, and a parade. Might want to check it out. Still ahead, a high school graduate tees up their future. John Dales has the story of the Neodesha grad and his journey to play Division I golf. A class of 2024 Neodesha High School graduates going to be playing Division I golf at Nebraska this fall. KOAM Sports Director John Dales has the story on Kyle Eggers' journey to get there.
When Kyle Eggers plays golf, he's used to hearing comments like this.
Going home.
Which makes sense, since he's been playing the sport nearly his entire life.
My grandfather, he started me at my age of 2. We started out in the house.
That time inside the house didn't last long.
He started hitting the ball real good, and a couple of days Grandma said, get him out of the house. He's knocking pictures and lamps and everything else over.
Kyle's time being outdriven by his grandpa also didn't last long.
He was 11 or 12, and he started driving the ball as far as I was. And at 13, he started driving the ball 20, 25 yards further than me.
Once in high school, the improvement and growth continued.
Freshman year, I wanted to just become the best out there as possible, at least around in Southeast Kansas. And then I won a Southeast Kansas tournament my junior year, so that was a really good opportunity to have.
After finishing top 10 in the state all 4 years in high school and signing to play D1 golf at Nebraska, Eggers still has loftier goals.
I do want to play on the PGA Tour. That is my end goal, is to play professional golf, whether that's Corn Ferry Tour or the PGA Tour. I just want to go to the next level after college.
For now, Eggers is enjoying the last summer before his college career and still gets a pointer or two from his grandpa. John Dales, KOAM Sports.
Good for Eggers and good for his family for supporting him. While at Nebraska, Eggers plans to enroll in the PGA management program. You can read more on this story at the sports page on our website, koamnewsnow.com/sports. We'll be right back. Today is National Sewing Machine Day. The first patent for a sewing machine was issued to an English inventor in the 1790s, leading to a working model. In the 1830s, the first American lock-stitch sewing machine was invented, followed a decade later by a patent for the first U.S. machine. Isaac Singer's model came along in the 1850s. Yeah, I remember it well. The invention has since made life a lot easier for society. Mark the day by sharing your favorite sewing tips, showing your creations on social media with the hashtag National Sewing Machine Day. I have tried, I've never succeeded in using a sewing machine.
It's complicated. My grandma taught me, but it's hard to get it fixed when it breaks, so I just sew by hand now, unfortunately.
I can sew a button by hand, but not very well, and that's about the extent of my
Well, sometimes that's all you need.
That's true. That's all you need. The
Well,
weather.
yes, we've got some storms moving through the area, although likely not in our area. Seems to be moving just east and west of us, thank goodness. We do have temperatures warming up in the next couple of days and some more rain chances Saturday and Wednesday that we'll keep an eye on, maybe moving in a little bit sooner, hopefully cooling off.
We could use it. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.